After another little bit of driving, I made it over to Lafayette, Louisiana, and attended the Sunday morning service with the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Lafayette. It's a lay-led community in this cute little building, and we did the flower ceremony, which is an annual event within the Unitarian tradition. Everybody brings a flower. Usually the church will provide extra flowers for those of us, like myself, who didn't bring one. And whichever flower you have and offer at the beginning of the service, you're encouraged to take a different flower home with you at the end of the service. And I like the exchange process of that flower communion. The next church that I went to, the next Sunday after that, also did their flower communion, so they don't all do them on the same weekend. And when you travel, you end up with overlaps like that. But, you know, I get to see beautiful flowers and take part in a really lovely service. So Sunday started out that way. It was a very good start. I did need to restock some groceries. We've all seen these stores, but I had never seen one of these before, so of course I had to go in and check it out. I've noticed that Dollar General stores tend to end up in neighborhoods that don't tend to have a lot of cash to go around, and those same neighborhoods tend to be food deserts, meaning there's not a lot of access to groceries or produce. So I think a Dollar General market is a great way to meet the needs of a community like that and still just be a Dollar General, honestly. I didn't get up a lot of groceries, but I did pick up a few things. Today's adventures in shelf-stable food: Vienna Sausage. I've never had it before, so I thought I'd give it a try. I already opened it. It came packed in water. I drained the water out because ew. And I pulled one out of the can. This is half of a Vienna sausage. And I took the first bite, and it's very salty. And kind of the texture of wet bologna. So the texture's kind of gross. The flavor is very much bologna. So on the whole, not a tragedy. If you need shelf-stable pink meat, the texture is unfortunate. But hey, shelf-stable bologna, or shelf-stable hot dogs, however you want to look at that. Pretty rough on the sodium, though. Let's see what it actually says. 26% of your sodium for the day. And that's if you only eat 4 of the 7 sausages that come packed in a can. So twice that. It's like half the sodium you're going to need in a day. So there you go. Vienna sausages. So today's weird food moment. Potted meat. I have never tried potted meat. Made with chicken, pork. Yeah, I'm expecting pink meat in a can. Much like the Vienna sausage experience. I'm not thrilled with the idea of eating this, I have to admit. The more I go toward canned meats, the more I think maybe I should just be a vegetarian. But I want to have all my protein options, so anyway, I'm going to try potted meat. I'm scared, I have to admit. I've never eaten it before. It doesn't sound appetizing. But, you know, life's worth nothing if you never take chances. So I have some everything seasoned crackers from Walmart. I do occasionally pick up food there and use their bathroom. Anyway, on to the potted meat experience. First, let's pop the can. It's pop time. I have a can opener in the car, but oh god, the cat's awake. Looks like bologna in a can. Bologna in a can. Doesn't smell terrible. Smells like it might be food. What do you think? Does it smell like it might be food? You come here in the camera and tell people if it smells like food. Yeah, you can walk over here. Hey, look up. No, I want to go stand on your towel. Hey, psst. Does it smell like food? Is it food? Could it be food? I'm not sure the cat's convinced it's food. That's disturbing. Okay, one more attempt. Callie. Is it food? Is it food? Is it food? Wait. Callie doesn't think it's food. This does not bode well. Yeah. Of course, she just ate too, so she may not be interested. But I find it a little disturbing that the cat's like, no. So I'm going to try this on a cracker. Because why not? Apparently I'm trying it on a broken cracker. Yep. That's an unfortunate texture. Ew. Sorry. The ew is that the flavor is good, but the texture is gritty. So the ew was a texture comment, not a flavor comment. Yeah, okay. The flavor's alright. So if you've never tried potted meat, maybe give it a shot. Yeah. I like the flavor. If you have any texture issues, it's kind of the texture of sand. Wet sand. That's really unfortunate. But hey, this is a serving. 240 calories. 10 grams of protein. 30 your fat for the day. 30 your sodium for the day. And some iron and some calcium. But pretty much no other redeeming value. But hey, if you need quick protein in a can. One of the stops I made in Louisiana was to the Jean Lafitte National Historical Park and Preserve of Louisiana, part of the National Park Service. The section that I went to first was the Barataria Preserve, which is a 26,000-acre marsh, swamp, and hardwood forest. I went there specifically to see an alligator.
That tree may look like it's pretty big. Actually, it's not. It's just like two trees that kind of grew together. See, these trees are not that old. Only about 100 years old. These broad cypress trees. Now, they can get a lot older, get a lot bigger. This broad cypress tree belongs to the same family as redwood trees. So they can be half as tall as a redwood. They can be 150 feet tall, the size of a 15-story building. You don't really see too many trees that big anymore. That's because when they're that tall, they also make for very good rock-resistant wood. Look at the snake. Ah, there's our second animal. This is a water snake. Not venomous, but it will bite you. You try to pick it up. Because that is the only defense. They can't squeeze you to death. They can't eat you.
There's another one.
They can't swallow you.
Where's
But
that
they
root?
can bite you in self-defense. That's the same one. Also water. Now, people get that mistaken with water moccasins, which are the same color. The water moccasin has a thicker body with a wider head. You keep the venom in your teeth so they got a wide head. So we do sometimes see water moccasins here. Usually they're curled up. And they're also known as cottonmouth because when you open their mouth, it's white inside.
I admit,
So
I don't
and the
see
snake
the one
is
over
warning
there.
you.
Oh, there he is.
When the snake opens their mouth, the snake is warning you that you are too close, and if you do not back up, I am going to strike and bite you. So when a person comes into the building with a picture of a water moccasin with the mouth open, and you were too close and you took that picture, you don't need to be that close. There's zoom lenses nowadays, you know. So these are mainly broad cypress trees. They can get a lot bigger than this, since they're half as tall as redwoods. But when they are that tall, they make for very good rock-resistant wood, which is why most have been cut down for the lumber. So these, about 100 years ago, they cut down most of these trees. These are like less than 100 years old and get a lot bigger than this. A mama lays like 40 eggs. One becomes an adult. Because raccoons eat the eggs before they're hatched. When they hatch, they're only 8 inches long, so big birds like eagles will eat the eggs. And so would the propagators. And the eggs hatch about the time hurricanes come. And that'll also kill the babies, so there's going to be no babies from last year because we had a hurricane. Can't see from this angle. Now, buddy. You see 8 inches from the eyes to the nose. That usually means 8 feet long, except he's missing part of his tail. So he's a little less than 8 feet. We don't know how much, because we don't actually jump in the water with a tape measure and straighten out the tail and try to measure it, you know.
Look, he's got like plants growing on his back.
See, those are the plants which float in the water beneath this trail. So when he comes above the water,
Oh, they
those
just
plants
stick.
just kind of stick on him. Yes.
It's cute.
Aw.
Now he really does not like people. He doesn't like people because he doesn't like people walking so close to him. But he knows that if he moves, he's got to find meat to eat. If he lies still, he doesn't need to eat to soak up the sun.
Wow.
So he gets very frustrated. He starts hissing at people. He may eventually go beneath the trail to get away from us, which he doesn't want to do because he can't get warmed up beneath the trail because the sun can't get down there. Big one. Well, actually, that's not even a big one. It's only 8 feet long. That's actually not that big. Males can be like 13 feet long. Okay. American alligator. I think the Latin word is alligator Mississippian something. The males in this park, most of them live in a bachelor pad somewhere north of this park. And they come down for mating season, April, May. They go back up again. They come down, eat the babies after they have to go back up again. This male probably went with the other males originally, but then they start fighting him. They bit off his tail because the bigger males fight the smaller males because they want all the females to themselves. So he probably figured, why should I hang out with you guys? You're going to keep on fighting me. So he hangs out with the girls down here. Before the hurricane, he was on that closed trail, hanging out with a smaller female. The hurricane, the water got high. The water was over these trails. So it was easy for him to swim over here. Then the water got low. It's kind of hard to get back where he came from. But since he found a girl gator here, now he hangs out with her most of the time. And that's probably the one we're going to see further down the trail. This is not the one I normally see here. Oh. The one who's normally here is missing his right front foot.
So that's a female?
Yes, this one has all 4 feet.
How can you tell it's a male or female? From
the mamas, by adjusting the warmth, can make sure that most of the eggs become female. Probably the instinct with the mom, which is there's not much reason for male gators.
So it actually the temperature determines the sex.
Yes.
Are they always this like dark brown, blackish
Here
color?
they are. You see, in Florida, they tend to be more of a green color because the water's more green. But here it's more dark. Actually, when the eggs hatch, the babies have a lot of brown stripes in their tail because they come from a nest of dead plants which are brown. So brown is camouflage. But when they spend more time in open water, they just become a dark color.
Okay.
Same color as the water. And as you look closely, you can still see a little brown on the tail, just behind the hind legs. So she hasn't quite lost all her brown stripes. She's probably about 5 feet long, because I think it's 5 inches from the eyes to the nose. The one I usually see here is about 6 feet long because it's 6 inches from the eyes to the nose. You can't tell the sex for sure by turning over the alligator and looking at the reproductive organ, just in case you were thinking of actually jumping in the water and turning over the alligator.
Don't want to know that bad.
Those organs are inside the body, so you need to actually reach inside the gator's body through its rear end and just keep on feeling around.
Oh my goodness.
To determine what is male or female.
No.